This shit is doubly ghetto. I mean, like we're gonna try this shit again. I done broke a spoon. My titties hurt. It's just a lot is happening right now. But you are all tuning in, hopefully, to episode 99 and the 2000. Cash Money Records taking over with Erika Hardison of Fabulize Magazine, and me, your hostess with the most sex, or the most sex, Didi Delgado. So there's that. Welcome everybody, welcome, and Erika, welcome to you. How you doing?
Hey boo, how are
That's
you?
so nice. You're very polite. You're very welcoming. I really am enjoying this already. I didn't think it was gonna work out, but it did. And now I'm posting your payment links so that niggas know, and some of the white people too, to follow you. I want them to pay you, even if it's something. And I want them to subscribe to your Patreon. So I'm making that the pinned comment. And also, I heard some things. We're gonna get into your bio real quick, but I also heard that you are up for the Route 100. Niggas just need to vote for you. I mean, if that's all it takes, I don't see why people can't get it together right now and make that happen. So I'm making this the pinned comment so people know. Thank you everyone for your patience. It's really hard being Black. It's even more difficult to be Black in a pandemic, and it's super difficult to be two fat Black bitches just who cannot get their shit together. So welcome everyone. welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome. So how you doing, Erika?
You know, there's a lot I can complain about, but we have our health. My baby's happy. I'm still able to work from home, so I am still fortunate in some ways, and even privileged in some ways. So I can't.
We're gonna talk about Black privilege.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, you see my face? I gotta be more vocal. It's supposed to be a podcast. It's supposed to be a podcast. Don't you have a pod? Let me introduce you first. I'm all out of sorts. I was in a super shitty mood, but I think I'm actually a little bit better now. I'm speaking to you because we actually talk once every 2 to 3 months or whatever, and when we do talk, it's a cleansing of sorts. So I think speaking to you, I think it's actually been maybe 2 months since I last spoke to you, and so speaking to you today put me in a good space. Because of you, my hairdresser just texted me. I'd be in a terrible space when my hair ain't done, so thank you. I'm telling folks we're taking questions. All right, cool. So I'm going to introduce you because it's a polite thing to do. Erika Hardison is a media professional and a publisher of Fabulize Magazine, who's bridging the gap between Black feminism and superheroes. Fabulize Magazine is an online and print publication that covers entertainment, lifestyle, culture for the Black nerd womanist. We're going to talk about that because I have no idea what the fuck that means. Hardison has been published in the Huffington Post, Romper, Yahoo, and covers entertainment, parenting, and pop culture. Fabulize Magazine is most known for its popular editorial, My Superheroes Are Black, which highlights and promotes diversity in pop culture through literary works, cultural heritage, and media visibility. Oh, and for those of y'all just joining in, catch the pinned links, which is the PayPal, the Cashapp, and the Patreon, which is super important for sustainability. But also vote for this nigga to get Root Top 100. Thank you. Erika, welcome. See, I told you bitches is just in the comments like, woo! I love Erika. Nobody ever comes here for me. They be like, who Didi got on the show? No, seriously, they be like, who Didi got on the show? That's what I'm coming here for. Because ordinarily, I don't see these niggas. Hi, Taj. So anyways, so what's going on? So you say you have Black privilege. What happened?
Well, I wrote an article for the Romper about, it was basically a call out for older women. In my experience, older Black women to stop discouraging new moms to breastfeed. And it's been like, I mean, I know it's not just older Black women, but just older.
I was like, you got a problem with somebody, granny? What happened?
No. Like, I've been, because this is my first child. Ever since I think, Shuri was turned like 3-4 months.
And how old is Shuri now?
20 months.
God bless you.
You know, the most vocal women have to tell me to stop breastfeeding has been older women. Like, oh, get that baby a chicken bone. I think the first time I was at the hospital and this older black woman told me, like, why you ain't feeding that baby mac and cheese? And she was like 4 months old. I was like, okay. But, you know,
Failure.
I had to check myself because after I did research, and then that beautiful poem that Hess wrote, connected the dots on how, you know, breastfeeding, especially with older women, can be traumatizing, you know, through generational trauma of wet nursing.
Mm.
So I had to kind of like check myself. And, you know, some women don't get to nurse as long as they want to because, you know, they have to go back to work or for health reasons. So that because I have the opportunity to nurse as much as I have been nursing and I'm still nursing is because, you know, well, there's a certain class. I mean, I don't think we're upper middle class, but
Right.
there is a certain privilege to be a black stay-at-home mom.
So you like 2 to 3 paychecks in between being broke like me.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean that's a great descriptor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like folks who are not black middle class, they're not really certain what to call themselves, right?
Working class. That's the only thing I come up with. Work.
Okay, you're out here working, breastfeeding and working. No, I really appreciate that framing because I was not. A lot of people super judge me because I was not able to breastfeed with Egypt. I was producing colostrum.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only word I know about my breast. So I was producing that and that was coming out and everyone was talking about it's liquid gold. Don't worry, your milk will come in. But no one was paying attention to the fact that because of my gastrointestinal issues, I don't absorb nutrients the right way. Like, you know what I'm saying? So anything I was eating, my body was like depleting myself. Like the baby couldn't get nothing. So I had to switch to formula and people are like, you know how like hard it was pumping in between feedings and only like 4 ounces coming out of each breast. Like it was so difficult. Like, you know, so I appreciate that framing. I would have never, and maybe that's also too, yeah, why I think if I see a 2-year-old on someone's titty, I'd be like, but it's because I do recall there was a time period, maybe like month 3 to 4, that I was like, oh shit, I feel like robbed of the experience. I want to go back to like that. I felt like I was nurturing somebody, you know, and it
Mm-hmm.
was just like there's a face that you get when you're breastfeeding. I can't describe it, like, you know what I'm saying? But it was like I missed that feeling. So I appreciate you even bringing that up. I appreciate it so much.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna front. I didn't start off, you know, exclusively breastfeeding. It is a
Thank
job.
you so much for being honest, bitch. I mean,
Yeah. No,
just
seriously,
be
because you
just
know,
be
like
real about your shit.
people don't really tell you, like, you know, this. I feel like as a black woman, I was so underprepared for pregnancy and birth. You know,
Mm,
even having the internet and having, you know, doctors and stuff like that, they don't really tell you everything. They don't tell you everything and they don't tell you the truth. And, you know, so when I gave birth, well, I had a C section. So when I gave birth,
that
I
shit
just
hurt.
assumed, yeah, I mean, it didn't hurt while they was doing it, but like the aftercare.
Do like did you
You
have
asked me.
I've no, I'm okay. I'm about to ask you. I've had stomach surgery. So do you feel like was there enough people around like to help you? Because when you laugh, it hurts. Like I haven't had a
Yeah,
C-section, but I've had holes in my stomach.
yeah. So I was home with the baby, and you know, her dad works, and I just, you know, I had a nurse for about 6 weeks that came in like once a week or so,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that shit was no joke. I mean, I had mostly black and POC doctors and doulas and midwives, so I felt safer. But again, you know, while they took absolutely good care of me,
Right.
my experience shouldn't be, you know, extraordinary. Every black woman who gives
Mm-hmm.
birth should have extraordinary care. So yeah, so I didn't have I didn't start off breastfeeding exclusively. I didn't know how to breastfeed. I have large breasts. So, those little bullshit
What
pamphlets
you working with?
Right now, before I was pregnant.
Can you shop at Fenty?
Can I shop at where?
Fenty. Savage Fenty.
Hell no.
You don't have to talk about it like that. Wow.
Oh, I'm
Wow.
sorry, but I wish
That
I could.
That
Cute,
escalated.
though. It's cute
That
though. I
escalated.
wish. Yeah, it's cute though. Before I got pregnant, I could be in Fenty, but now, like now I'm like a Jacob.
What does that mean?
I mean, it's like I'm in the middle of the alphabet.
Wait, no. In my head, I started doing the alphabet. I was like, this is too fast. No, I'm a 38. Well, it depends on how much weight I gained when I in between COVID experiences, but I'm anywhere between a 38 and a 42 triple D/F. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still have a large, massive boobs, and that's why I ain't got a bra on right now, because this IUD is blowing mine. They're just shooting hormones into my body every month, and it feels like I'm pregnant right now, although I'm not. So there is that. Yeah. Are you going to take birth control?
I used to be on birth control. The birth control that I'm familiar with and I'm safe with, I can't get water.
Is tap water? Did you just say is tap water?
No. I said the birth control that I'm comfortable with taking. I cannot take it while I nurse. So I'm hoping to wean Shuri off so I can get back on the birth control.
Do you feel like, as a Black woman, that you've had terrible experiences with healthcare providers and obtaining birth control? Do you feel like they've leaned towards more one than another?
No, but again, I'm not the my situation was different because I didn't get on birth control because I requested it. I got on birth control because of my fibroids.
Okay. So we talking about fibroids? I got 3 of them.
I don't know how many I have, but I know they're big, and it was.
Are you in a lot of pain?
No, not right now. Right now, actually, the body is so weird. So, I had to have the C-section because Shuri wouldn't turn, and she wouldn't turn because of my fibroids. So, when
do you feel like people inserted themselves a lot into the fact your baby wouldn't turn? They're like, well, you need to do this, and you need to be like.
Well, at the time, I didn't know why she didn't turn. So, I'm thinking that she's just being stubborn, and by the time like I was like 30 something weeks, I was showing signs of preeclampsia. I was gaining like 15 pounds every week, and it was so depressing because I was like literally trying to like count my calories a day. Like, I know I'm not overeating. I know I'm not eating a lot of food, but I'm gaining like 15, 20 pounds a week, and I couldn't stop it.
Right. Okay.
So when I gave birth, that's when my doctor told me, I found all these fibroids while Shuri was born, and they're like as big as his fist. And I was like, well, why didn't you remove them then? He was like, because you lost so much blood, they might go, there's a possibility they might go away after birth because, when you're on prenatals, it speeds up all the hormones and stuff like that.
But and fibroids are like, it's like a muscle growth, like it's a overlap of tissue, right?
Yeah.
So that baby, Shuri was like, Mama, why would I turn around and keep hitting me in my head?
She did not turn. She just stood in her same position. Mm-hmm. So after, postpartum, once I started breastfeeding exclusively, I had no issues.
Okay.
But, once she started eating food and solid food, so, your supply decreases before they eat food. I was having like spells like every couple months where I would like bleed heavily, like really hard, and like I couldn't get out the bed. It was like really, really bad. And when I would go to the doctor, they would say, well, there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, I am in pain and I cannot stop. And then I went to the emergency room and they told me, because I'm not, ministrating every month.
Right.
When I do ministrate, it's like a backlog.
Oh my,
Basically,
right. That
it's like
escalated quickly.
Yeah, it's like a backlog. So like
Right.
it comes out a lot, but you're not losing.
It's just, is it the dead, like a dead tissue and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I say we normalize talking about our menstruation periods because it's like we suffer then in silence because we're not talking about it. We're saying like, oh, this should be normal. This is probably normal,
But right now, I'm fine. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if I can have them removed. And
oh, you might want to go ahead with the surgery.
Yeah, definitely, if I can.
Okay.
And it's hard to wean a toddler, especially if you're in the house with them all the time.
Right.
So hopefully, closer to her birthday, she'll just be not interested in it. So I can go.
I don't want that anymore. What does she want? The macaroni and cheese? You said somebody was trying to be like, yeah, give that baby some macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
What kind of parent? Because I know this is your first baby, and I also have Egypt, and Egypt is my first. What kind of parent do you think you are?
I don't know.
Would you classify yourself as a ratchet parent? Like, is there space for ratchet parents? Like,
I definitely am a little on the ratchet side, but I'm also a very emotional parent, I guess.
What do you mean emotional? Oh,
yeah, like because she doesn't really use her words.
Okay.
Because I would like her to, and I got to evaluate it. And it was like, there's nothing wrong with your child. All her needs are met. She's just not talking yet because you all have good body communication. So so you have to like really work and help her vocalize. So she's been vocalizing more. She told me no and stop and who's there. So she's definitely talking more. But I like to think that we bond emotionally a lot. So, I can tell how she's feeling. She's very expressive. And, we don't yell and scream. I'm definitely not.
Wow. Show me your ways.
Well, this is now. I don't know how.
I was about to say, now that Egypt's talking, Egypt said, what did Egypt say? She was like, you go to your room, Mom. I said, yo, this child will be 4 in like 4 months, right? And literally just told me to go to my room. Like, get out is things that they say. And it's only because they watch these shows on TV. I work full time during the day, like even through COVID-19. So I've told the school, I'm like, I don't know what y'all want me to do. Y'all not opening back up until mid-July. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure what you want me to do. It's PBS, Peppa Pig, Paw Patrol, all that shit is watching the baby. I don't know what to tell you. Like, And so they be having like these adult conversations, these like what I call faux anime conversations, right? And like it's just wild because the stuff that Egypt be repeating, I'm like, wow, how did you even know how to say this? Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you get there,
we'll revisit the conversation. But so far, she's a funny kid. She's a cool kid. I definitely want to keep her as carefree as possible. But so far, it's not. It's she definitely wants to challenge things, and she's becoming like she knows she has her own personality and her own thoughts. It's not like I could just put her in a chair and say it's time to eat now. She doesn't want to eat. She doesn't want to eat. If she's not ready to go to bed, she's not ready to go to bed. You can't force her to go to bed.
Right.
So she's interesting. It's really interesting to watch her grow up.
It's definitely interesting to like see, like look at the person that's like next to you. Egypt is now grown. She's probably about little Kim's height right now. And so it's like weird if Egypt crawls into my bed at night. I'm like, who is this grown woman? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like laying here. She's just so fucking tall. Like it's ridiculous. So Taj said Peppa Pig is the queen of petty. Listen,
yeah, she was not into Peppa Pig because they don't have. She likes more shows that have music with it.
Okay.
You know, that's another thing how she's learning. She's learning a lot through music.
Okay.
You know, why she doesn't vocalize. I've been like trying to teach her like little signs. So like instead of her singing, vocalizing the itsy bitsy spider, she'll play it out with her hands and dance. That's what she does.
She out here.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, right. Like she hears the melody and she'll stop and just start doing it. So
right.
So yeah, that's where I am.
Okay, free range parent.
Yeah, so
cage free parenting.
You're funny.
Oh, well, I'm just a regular person. So I want to ask you, because I have a story about the time I think I met you the first time.
Okay.
I want to ask you a story about when you think that you met me the first time, because talking offline, I think we have two different ideas of when we met for the first time.
You know what? I'm gonna say the first time I remember. It could have been what I remember, because the conversation I remember from you, it probably wasn't the first time, but it's the one that's like burnt into my brain.
Oh shit, I'm nervous.
Yeah. So
you better be.
Yeah, because like the first conversation I remember us having, it was in BFT, and
so this is 2012.
Yeah.
It had to be 2012. Damn.
You was pregnant. I want to say maybe, I think you was like almost like at the end of your second trimester.
Oh no. So then this had to be 2016 then.
Maybe. I just know your profile picture was you in the red dress.
That was my pregnancy dress. I got pregnant in that dress. So yes. I got pregnant in that dress. So yes, 2016. Okay.
And we was having a conversation about organizing community, but then like we kind of like drifted off on talking about hooking up.
Me and you?
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened.
So it was random. It was like a random conversation. Like, yeah, girl.
If my face could turn any redder.
It was like, yeah, girl, we could do, we can, meet up, and then we can do like,
I'm about to cry because I think now I remember.
And then you asked me how straight I was, and I was like, bitch, I am not that straight.
Okay.
That was the conversation, and it's kind of like, it was just like funny exchanges since then.
So, okay, now I remember, because the first time online presence, yes, we flirted a lot. And I didn't even remember till now you just said it. I was even saying to myself, how did we end up going out on a date? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how I remember you meeting you the first time. You and I had made a plan. You were like, I'm having a party. And I was like, where's the party? You were like, Brooklyn. And you said it in the Brooklyn girl voice too. It was actually really weird. But you was like...
Right, because I'm from Chicago. So it's like...
Right. I was like, okay. Super extra bitch. And you was like, Brooklyn, and whatever. And then so I was like, okay, what are we doing? You like, the Black Panther? What you mean? What we doing? We gonna have fun. We gonna turn up. We gonna do this. And I was like, okay. So I was telling everybody, I was like, I'm going on a date. I said, I really like this girl. She's amazing. And we got there. And I think the first problem with dating is that you can't do it during the premiere of the Black Panther. It just was a no-go. What happened? Me and Monica decided, I think I was annoyed with Monica because she decided she wanted to get her nails done at the last minute. She's like, I just can't go to this premiere without my nails done. And I was like,
bitch, you showed up like it was almost over.
Fuck you.
Like, how you wait for Black Panther?
That is how it happened, first of all. Second of all, I don't believe that we showed up when it was almost over. I believe that we showed up while it was almost over. I feel like now that you said it, that is what happened, because I don't think Monica was taking into account the traffic. I think it was a Friday night.
It was a Friday night.
She wasn't taking into account the traffic. She's like, girl, the way that I drive, we're going to be there in 2 hours. And I'm like, it's a 5-hour drive, ma'am. It's a 5. I kept like reiterating that. So, we got on the road, whatever. We went, and then you was like, oh, the event is over. And I was like, wow, I bought a Black Panther outfit. I had like you and I had even like coordinated sort of like we was exchanging outfit ideas or whatever.
Yeah, we were. It was like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? Like, oh my God. That was such a
So I was like, oh, I'm lit to death. Like this is about to be a lituation. And then what ended up happening was you invited me to like an after party. You was like, oh, it's gonna be lit. And then so Monica didn't want to come in because I think she was tired because we still had to drive to Connecticut because it was our birthday weekend. I remember all this now, like, you know, and we still had to drive to Connecticut for like the spa retreat or whatever that we were going on with a few friends. And so I went in, it was already destined to fail. I went into it was like a bar that you had it at. And like there was just so much going on. There's so many people.
It was so many. You know what? I didn't even think that many people would show up. I thought like maybe a good 50 people. I wasn't expecting like over 200 people to be like after party, Black Panther after party. I was just like, oh, okay. There was like
no whole bunch of nerds. Wasn't my crowd. Wasn't my crowd. I want, if I'm gonna be around nerds, they gotta be like beautiful. And so it wasn't my crowd. There was a lot of people with glasses on. Okay. Like it just wasn't my crowd. And I wear glasses. So I was being weird. And then I was like, Monica, let's just go. Cause she was sitting in the car the whole time. So I had a drink and I was waiting for you. And then some dude who I'm presuming is your baby daddy was like, what's this all about? I was like, let me go before.
Really?
He wasn't like mad. He was just like trying to figure out like what I was doing waiting around.
No, I had told him about you. And I wanted to like introduce y'all because I told him about you. I was like, look, I have a crush on Dee Dee and she's going to be there. So you're just going to have to, you know, be a good boy about it. And okay, and that's it. And that was it. I was going to introduce you guys.
He got a little peacock in his chest. Like, you know, he was like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I was like, okay, this is just, and so I was like, I think I was looking for you. I couldn't find you because that's how many people there was. So I just texted you. I was like, my nigga, I'll see you like February 19th again, I guess. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was the first time I met you. I appreciate it. I appreciate our first date. I do.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. Niggas is gonna be niggas. Like niggas is gonna be niggas. I mean, you know, so that was a funny story. Also, too, I wanted to ask you, I'm trying to think if you've ever allowed me to be petty inside of your group. I feel like there was a time.
Yes.
Like I said, I feel like there was a time. But first, tell us about your group. So what are My Superheroes Are Black? It's a large Facebook group. What is it about?
Well, it started off because at the time I was working at AOL. And
like You've Got Mail AOL?
Yeah, because AOL at the time was part of Huffington Post. And I was working at the AOL. It was a live TV show. And, you know, they would bring like, you know, celebrities, like really white celebrities every single day. And I was on social media. So it was starting to be like a little uprise and like pop culture content they was doing. So right before, like I started working there right before Daredevil launched on Netflix.
Okay.
And like, you know, it was like a rush for like pop culture, comic book based entertainment content. So I started writing more on Huffington Post about like comics, but then I was like, you know, I don't want to write about all these white people all the time. So I started talking about like Black comics, and I tried to pitch the idea of doing a story at the Black with it. And so I just went there and did it myself, or, you know, made the content, and I started writing these articles on Black superheroes, and I went viral. And I to the group, I was like, well, you know what? I want to make a space where I want to talk about Black superheroes, Black creatives, Black writers. I really want to conversation.
Can you do me a favor? Because I feel like I'm missing parts of what you're saying. Can you just check your Wi-Fi connection is stable and solid?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, because there was a little bit of a lag. So can you just go back to that one part where you were like, I just decided to do it myself?
Okay, so I just decided to do it myself, to create the content that basically I wanted to see, and I felt there was no, there was no visibility for Black creators, especially with media. So I think first mainstream leaders or Black book or Philly area.
So it's still doing it. Okay, try it one more time.
Is it better now?
It's so much better now. I don't know what happened. Go ahead.
Okay. So I wanted to create content that I wanted to see, and I felt that wasn't being addressed or being seen. So I was the first writer. First, also, and
so you dropped out like one more time.
Okay, hold on.
Because I want to give you that good money shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
can you hear me now?
It's perfect.
Okay. Where should I start off at?
So I feel like, okay, so you did this. You say it went viral. I see you got a blue check next to your name on the Twitter. I'm jealous. April said if you disable the video for a minute, it might improve. So that's what I try to do. That's why I turned off your video and then I turned off mine and I started again.
Okay.
So anytime you feel like if I hit you up and I just be like, hey, can you just turn off your video for a second? It might reset your connection because it's just the streaming. I mean, you're supposed to be a Black nerd. I would think you had like some you know, it's so funny because I was telling the Verizon dude, I mean, I flirt with everybody, so it's fine. But I was telling the Verizon dude today that she was going to be on my show because he looked like a nerd. And he was like, oh my God. Like, he was like, you know, I've got a $23,000 computer and I just play games all day. And I would just think that you would have a better Wi-Fi connection than this Erika is all I'm saying.
Well, I have Verizon. Like, I don't know if I can do any better than Verizon.
I'm just saying you might want to do that $88 upgrade is all I'm saying.
I don't know how much he's paying for this Wi-Fi, but I know it ain't cheap. But
okay,
that's his problem.
Okay, so you got the blue check. AOL was like, boom, she's the Black authority on pop culture now. That's how I understood all the warble you was doing.
Yeah.
And so how did the group get born out of that? Is it because of the article?
Well, a few articles. The articles and like me going to Comic-Con. I think Comic-Con like really put me in a good position because I think I did one of the last interviews with Prodigy of Mobb Deep, and then, you know, I did Jean Grey, and I did all these Black creators, and I created like this video content on YouTube. And I just kept going at it. But the thing, I think I was running into problems because, you know, a lot of Black creators are pretty ashy. So it'll start off with like,
when you say ashy, what do you mean?
Like homophobic, sexist, and it's kind of like par for the course because nerd culture in general, they feel like they're ostracized, so they treat women kind of like really fucked up anyway.
Are there a lot of incels and nerditry?
Yeah. So, you know, because of that, they hit me up and they're like, you know, I got this project. I need you to, I would love for you to support my project. Can you hear me?
I absolutely can.
Okay. I would love you to support my project. And then like they'll say something like transphobic or sexist. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, like I'm more comfortable than Black women, the academic part of Black comics. Like that's a really interesting. I think what I really like is that there is a legit academic.
Can you turn off your video for a second?
Yeah.
All right. Turn it back on. You said that there's a real academic element.
Yeah, there's like a really cool academic element to Black comics and Black creators that I found. Like I've been finding like a lot of Black women professors who do like extensive
Nope. You be having salient points, and I don't know what negative energy you done brought from your past to interrupt this broadcast. I know you be having salient points because I follow you.
What about now? It says my speaker is not working.
Okay. Do you want to turn off your speaker and then turn it back on?
Okay, let me see.
Nigga,
Okay,
you got headphones? I'm very proud of you. It's like we're troubleshooting. We're getting the things done. It's so hot in my house. Like the weather switches from 89,000 degrees outside to like DMX, it's dark and hell is hot, like temperature, like it's like 60 degrees or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not cute. You have me on mute. Okay. No, now I can't hear you. We're gonna get through this, y'all. Thank you so much for folks that are on the live, giving us patience, because love and pop culture in the time of being Black and also living with the Rona is difficult as it is. So y'all gonna have to forgive us on this technology. Adora says, it's me. I'm the one who's messing up. Wow. Can someone else confirm that? Not because I don't believe Black women. That'll be the narrative that comes out of that statement. But I just want to make sure, because it says that I have 5 bars, all green. Okay, I can hear your air conditioner now. So can you say something?
Yo.
Yes. I heard that. I heard that shit in the background.
I even like put the Zoom app on my phone, so just in case.
Oh, Adora said, no, it's me that I'm hot. It is. I don't have no bra. This is just, it's so much sweat. And it's just so hot.
All right, so I'm gonna actually join on my phone too. So
I'm really proud of you. It's like we're making our way through. That's what we're doing.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
So if it goes bad, I'm just gonna join on my phone.
Okay, you're doing amazing.
You're doing amazing. You sound like a mom. You're doing amazing.
Like, I'm like, you're doing amazing, sweetie. I don't know if I want iced coffee or wine.
Both.
Both. But I'm both.
All right. Okay. So what I was raving about.
So basically you was like, I got a blue chick, Y'all bitches is basic. I have my group now. Basically, that's what I heard. All the warble. That's what I deciphered. So now your group is here. What do y'all be talking about in your group?
I was talking about
sorry.
Making a space for Black people to talk about shit without having like a white gaze on.
There's no white people in your group.
No.
Baby. How you do it?
It was very hard because they were sneaking in.
They were like, "We're gonna get in here, niggers." Niggers.
Like I remember like at a time I was almost close to like 10,000 members. And I was like, you know what? This is not all Black people. And I just took the time out to go through every profile.
He was like, I've got the time. If you're light skinned, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like bye, block. So I have like 5,000 people blocked.
That's wild. I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry, you know.
What are you watching on your television?
Well, I was watching She-Ra. I love that show.
What does it come on?
She-Ra from the 80s?
No, I know, but what is it on? Is it on like...
It's on Netflix.
I was going to ask you, it's on Hulu. Because I feel like all the old shows be on Hulu.
Well, this is the new version of She-Ra, and it is so queer. Oh my God.
Really?
Very queer, yeah. Like queer than Steven Universe. Better than Steven Universe, in my opinion.
I feel like you're talking to your demographic. I'm just going to listen.
Well, it's like really cool. So I like it because I'm an 80s baby. So I definitely love
I'm from the 80s too. I feel like I missed the nerd bug. So most times that I was a Black nerd, it was because I was trying to get the attention of someone who I thought was smarter than me, but it was actually really goofy and silly or whatever. So there is that. So a lot of like, I know the difference between Marvel and DC, obviously, but I mean, as far as that, that's how it goes. I do like a lot of storylines and a lot of comics. I think that those are very underrated. I obviously cried when Iron Man died. I want someone to tell me, not that I give a fuck about Tony Stark's, but I do want someone to tell me that he's coming back again. That there's like a sequel to the sequel to the sequel, and that the nigga was like somebody like did some quantum physics and brought him back. Like that's what I want.
You know what? I have to get my battery, but you know when I was growing up, I wasn't really into like super like like a big Marvel DC head. I was into like Archie comics and cartoons and Sonic, and I was into other things, airplanes, and because my father was an engineer, so I wasn't, walking around with boxes of comic books. I was into like other nerdy shit. So
yeah, that's what Adora is saying, that she's a Black nerd, but not for comics. So
yeah, like you don't have to. It's not just about comics. I mean, I like reading. Like I have like you could be a nerd and like just read Toni Morrison books and Langston Hughes. Like that is a nerd. Like I think people think nerd just means comics and video games when it doesn't. You could be a nerd about anything.
And like bottle caps.
Yup.
What's two true things about Black nerds and what's two like false things about Black nerds?
You know what? Can you entertain for like 2 minutes? Let me get my battery because I don't want my computer to die. Okay,
so while you're gonna get your battery, I'm gonna ask folks, because I also have my phone in my hand. I can't believe this. If folks have questions for Erika, please chime in and let us know what the questions are. If you have commentary to share with her, that would be amazing. Taj said, I'm gonna read some of these comments now. Hold on a second. Don't forget that Erika's PayPal, Cashapp, and Patreon are up here, and vote for Erika for the Root Top 100, and the Google Docs is in the comment section as the pin link, and it's also in the bio section of the video. Also too, I just found out that Carlos just texted me. We about to see when Carlos can do my hair tomorrow again. I mean, where am I going? Nowhere. Friday? Tomorrow, Friday. I don't even know who I'm interviewing. If those of y'all who are tuning in, tomorrow I'm interviewing Shavonda Sisson. And then after that, on Friday, I'm interviewing the fine folks from Parenting is Political. So while Erika is getting her stuff, Taj says, first of all, breast pumps are the devil's work. And people are sharing about their fibroids. That's dope. I appreciate that. Taj said, Dee Dee, you annoying. That was a great event. I was sad I couldn't stay for the. You was at the Black Panther event? Wow. How things are funny in full circle. That was like 2017. That was February 2017. Wow. Adora, thank you for saying I'm hot, because I am. Let's see. Adora says, I read it all. Welcome back, Erika. Adora says,
Hey.
Welcome back. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Adora says, I read it all. I asked for French immersion, and my education is in anthropology. I see what you're saying. So you like bugs and philosophy. Or is that a morphology? Yo, sometimes I be feeling like Jessica Simpson and the whole Bumblebee chicken fiasco. I do. I do. I have mom brain and COVID brain.
That was actually 2018, not 2017.
What was I doing in 2017?
Pregnant.
No, I had already had Egypt in 2016. Are you sure Black Panther didn't come out?
I'm sure because Black Enterprise did a write-up of the event, and that was February 18th, February 18th, 2018.
You're absolutely right. And I'm going to tell you why, because I moved to Albany shortly after. This is ghetto. Hold on one second. Hi, Carlos.
What's up?
I'm recording. Yes, I'm working. I'm recording my show. Look at my hair, Carlos. I can't live my life like this.
Look at my face. This is my first day back.
Welcome back. Okay.
Finish your show on FaceTime.
I love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So that's my favorite person in the whole wide world. I mean, Egypt might have to take a seat. I like that. Carlos comes and collects my edges. He makes me forget who I am for 10 minutes. I'm telling you. Adora says cultural anthropology. So really the root of the word, the etymology of the word Black nerd really comes down to smarts.
No, because a lot of Black nerds aren't smart.
I'm trying to help your cause here.
Okay, sorry. I forgot you said two truths.
So tell me 2 truths and 2 lies about Black nerds. Because I really am not here for the conversation about white people who are nerds. Okay. Sorry for the white people who are joining.
2 truths. I believe all Black nerds have battled some level of anti-Blackness in their life.
Okay.
Within themselves. So internalized anti-Blackness. A truth is, I think the majority of Black nerds at some point in time have used their hobbies as a personality trait. A lie.
What are some of the misconceptions that people have about nerds?
Nerds or Black nerds?
Black nerds. Do they only date Asian women?
Oh, you were talking about the men. Okay.
I want to say even queer Black nerds. I think I have a crush on a person who is a queer Black nerd, and she's dating an Asian person. I mean, I don't know what it is.
I think a lot of it,
is it the anime that turned y'all on? I mean,
I can't speak for everybody because I'm from Chicago, so
I'm from Chicago.
So all I know is the neckers. So
the neckers.
Yeah, so I really can't talk for other people, but especially I've noticed like in the cosplay community, the Black cosplay community is very swirly, and that's just yeah. I mean. That's their thing, I can't really speak much on it, but I guess it is what it is. From what I understand, a lot of cosplayers feel like they're not accepted by Black people who aren't into the community. So they end up going to like these conventions and fests, and they end up meeting like people who like stand them, and they just happen to be not Black.
Did you say people who can't stand them or people who can stand them?
People who stand them, like
Oh, I thought you said. I was like, I hate it here already. Okay, so people that are personal faves. Okay, and then what's one more misconception, or what's one? Yeah.
That all nerds are inherently, smart. That's not really the truth. I've met a bunch of nerds that aren't uh, as smart as they believe they are.
Right.
Just because you have a particular grasp on, a certain author or genre doesn't mean that you're smart. That means that you're just a fan of that particular thing.
Right.
Okay.
I do want to ask you a question about conflict and nerditry. Mm-hmm. I know that's not a word, but how do you handle conflict? Because you're also a womanist, right? And so what's the difference between womanism and feminists?
Womanism centers Black women or, Black marginalized people.
Okay.
So that's where I am.
She's like, that's where I am.
And I mean, I say, Black feminism because a lot of people aren't aware of the term womanism. So when I say blurred womanist, it's kind of like saying Black nerd, Black feminist. So it's kind of redundant in a way, but right. I use those words intentionally because I want people to understand what they're getting into.
Okay.
Black nerd, Black feminism. So.
And why is it important to distinguish yourself as a Black womanist nerd, Black nerd womanist? Sorry.
Because, in nerd culture in general, like, it's very toxic. And, when you say, okay, I'm going to leave all the white violent towards women. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay. They're very violent towards women. But then you say, okay, I'm going to go into the Black spaces. And then when you see that same behavior being perpetuated by men that look like you, and you're like, this is not what I'm here for.
Right.
And then, like, I don't want to have to consistently defend myself with niggas. I just don't. Like, I get enough of that from white spaces. I shouldn't have to come into a Black space and do the same thing over and over again. So,
especially in a space that you curate.
Huh?
I said, especially that it's a space that you curate.
Yeah, I mean, I still am connected to some of the spaces just to see, what's going on, because I have to like be in everything because I'm nosy. But it's like,
what's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
I hate this energy. Oh my God. Oh.
I'm so sorry, but I always make you happy.
No, you always do. And Egypt is a Sagittarius. My mom is a Sagittarius. My future husband is a Sagittarius. The person I'm in love with is a Sagittarius rising. So that's like the shit that presents to me, and I hate it here. But like all the Sagittarius energy around me, I'm like, I can't escape it. Oh my God. Don't do that face. I also want to say thank you. I really like the opportunities when, I don't know everyone that comes on the show, but the people I do know, I feel like, I can't believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say, but they just need to be said. I feel like a lot of times I focus on a lot of the negative energy that be surrounding me or whatever, but then there's like so much positive, good shit and good natured people around me. And so like having everyone on the shows thus far, you're like episode number 37 at this point, having like good people on the show just is, I don't know. So I want to say thank you because there was a time where a Black man was talking down about me and was being super shady and thought because they were in a group with you or with other people and I was not in that group that they could have that conversation. And I recall, like, I don't know if it was you who sent me the first screen. I think it was somebody else. And they was like, hold up. You was like, hold up. You're like, that's not that's not who I know Dee to be. And it was like it was some super shady shit. It wasn't about my politics. It wasn't about, it was just like, I don't like her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when I told you about it, I was like, you know, I tried to date this person very briefly, you know, and I basically told them that I'm never going to be their girlfriend. I'm just here for a short time. That person was shocked, I think, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, I sent you the screenshots. I was like, here's the entire conversation, you know, tit pics, dick pics, all the things, whatever. And I was like, here it is. I said, because I don't like when people lie on me. Like that's like my number one thing. But I'm learning in therapy.
I don't like people lie on me either. And I feel like when people lie on me, I feel like, how do you defend yourself against a lie?
You don't. And we've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
Because people have tried to come for you. And I'm giving, like, you're older than me by a year, but I'm giving the big sis energy advice. Like, I'm like, well, don't say anything. And then meanwhile, I'm shots fired, recording videos, diss records, like West Side, like, I mean, like, you know. So I feel like we keep each other in check most times. So I just want to say thank you for that, because you didn't have to go out on a limb for me. You at that time, you only knew of me. You didn't really know me. Like, you know, and you're like, hold up, something about this don't seem right. Did y'all date? And like the nigga had nothing to say. I was like, yes, we did. Let me send you the screenshots, you know?
Well, you know what? There are so many performative men in these spaces, like in feminist spaces, and like, you know, progressive Facebook and woke book and nerd culture, because the whole, you know, I'm a nice guy type of thing really puts a blindfold on a lot of women. And I really hate to see women in marginalized over. It's disturbing. And
now
can you hear me now? Okay.
You said you hate to see women something men.
Okay, I hate to see women in marginalized genders fight over cis men. Like, it's terrible.
Ooh, child. Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. And like, I get so disappointed when women in marginalized genders, I don't like feminists, you know, and I know that it's a journey, and you know, people have to learn and unpack and grow. But if your growth, like, I noticed that a lot of people, part of their growth is dissing and misogyny. Like, part of their growth is, you know, hurting other women, and that's right. Okay. Like, you take accountability, okay, but why are you hurting women? Why are you hurting dark-skinned women? Why are you hurting, you know, like, fat women? Like, why are these your targets, and why are they part of your growth?
Right.
You know, it's just harmful, and I see it a lot, to the point where it's like, okay, I already know what's happening next. Like, I know this is part of your growth, and blah blah blah, whatever. Mm-hmm. So
how do we stay away from that? You know, because I feel like I've had conversations with people that I love, and people that love me have had conversations with me about, like, how do we not, like, when you called out, right? And even if you don't agree with the call out, how do we not perpetuate the same, I don't want to say systems of harm. How do we not, like, be shitty like how we've been treated shittily? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's difficult, but we need to have that conversation, because I get called out all the time. Sometimes I don't need to answer, because sometimes it just don't be true. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when it is true, or when there's enough people saying something, how do we navigate the space? Like, how long are you supposed to be accountable? Like, forever to the story?
That's
like, you know what I'm
question.
saying? Thank you. I get hired to do good questions.
That's a good question. I think it really depends on the person. It really depends on what you are being tasked with, because everybody's a villain to somebody.
Ooh, baby, let me pour the rest of this barefoot.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm a villain in someone's story. You know, someone probably watching this right now, sharing a screenshot like, this bitch, da 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 da. You know, but the difference between me and other people is, like, you know, I don't have to hide behind, you know, things for my actions. If I do it, I do it. If I'm wrong, I admit that I'm wrong. I say I'm sorry. I ask for, what can I do to make this better?
Has
And
your
I'm
sorry ever lent to someone not caring though?
yeah.
Okay. I just had questions because
Yeah.
niggas out here be acting like it's only me that be having
Yeah,
conflict.
no. Like my brother. He's a perfect example.
Okay.
Like, I have one sibling, that's my brother. And he is, he's angry, and he has reason to be angry about certain things. But like, because he doesn't know how to process his emotions like I do, anything could like set him off. And he'll be angry about something and then bring up something I did, years ago that I've already apologized for.
Right.
And it's like, why are we circling back to this conversation from like 2000? Like, this is 20 years ago. Why am I still apologizing? How many times do you want me to apologize for the same thing? Am I doing it again? If I'm not doing it again, why is it still being held up as like this negative cloud that I've caused harm for you? So some people are not going to forgive you, and I've come to terms with that some people are not going to forgive me no matter what I do, no matter what I say. And and that is their right. But at the same time, you have to understand that some people, it doesn't matter what you do, they just don't fuck with you.
Right.
And you just have to live with that.
No, I appreciate that framing. Two other questions I have for you is how long have you been doing your hair in dreads? And I'm asking because I feel like the summer is a time where people start deciding what to do with their head. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how long have you been growing your hair?
I think that's a good question. I started locking my hair 2004, 5.
Okay.
Something like that. Because I used to get like a press and curl. I was a dedicated press and curl every 2 weeks. Like, I would like rock my curls and rock my hair. I would just braid my hair at night, unbraid it in the morning, put some, leave-in conditioner and, finger comb it and go. Get that press and comb and keep it moving. But the woman who was doing press and comb in my hair was an older woman, and she wasn't like, she was about to, retire, and I was like, what am I going to do with my hair? Because I hated doing my own hair. So I was like, you know what? I think I should lock it. And I haven't looked back since.
2004?
Yeah, 2004, 2005.
Did you do the big chop?
My hair was already natural.
No. Did you do the big chop? Did you start over from scratch?
I didn't have to.
You just did it. You were just like, well, we just taking what I have and we're working with that. I feel like I need to do something drastic because I always feel like that.
If you process your hair, yeah, you should do the big chop. But if you don't have, if you have all natural hair, you don't have a process, I don't see why you would need to do a big
yes,
chop.
I do process my hair because I don't know if you can see, this part of my root has not been touched by hair dye. This is the part of the root that belongs to me. But the rest of this like silky Hawaiian silk shit is all been bleached and it's just colored over with black right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So basically what I want to do, and Carlos is trying to help me, we're gonna do like some sort of asymmetrical, so I creep, like, you know what I'm saying? And then like then then I want to go like literally bald on one side and then I want to like cut it all off. But everyone tells me my head is shaped funny. I really don't know why I allow niggas to get in my head because I feel like I should do what I want to do anyways. It is what it is.
What do you mean your head is shaped funny?
I do have a funny shaped head. You see how big my fucking forehead is? And then all of this is like a flat Tyrannosaurus Rex top. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Please.
What? It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
If Rihanna can rock around with a short haircut, you can too.
You saying Rihanna got a big head?
She got a big forehead.
Wow. I didn't need you to affirm me in that way, but I'm
just saying her forehead bigger than yours. Like, her forehead is wide. Like, really wide.
I'll allow it. It's just hot as fuck in my house. Also, where you get your glasses from? Because these are a lituation. Come on, Queerdo.
I got these from Zillow. I'm gonna send you the web address.
Please do, because I like to shop on Beyonce's internet.
Okay, and they cost like $5, and I was like, you know what?
They look like you got them for a good deal, but they classy. Like, no, this is
I
hot.
was like, these look cute. So I'm gonna dye my hair eventually. I'm gonna I want to do like a nice purple fuchsia color fusion.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna do my hair. I'm gonna cut my hair a little bit more because Shuri really loves to grab my hair, especially when I'm sleeping.
These kids are jerks.
Yeah. So I'm gonna cut my hair a little bit more and like I'm gonna pin curl it and stuff like that. So
okay, I'm ready for this. I'm excited for this. So a question that I ask all my guests, I feel like it's such a big question because I'm a complicated bitch, is a two-pronged question. And the first part of it is there anything that you actually shocked that I did not bring to your attention or discuss on the show? Because we did not prepare what we was going to speak about. Is there anything you're shocked about that I didn't bring to your attention? Or is there anything you're like, oh, hold up, I meant to promote this or I meant to discuss that? And then the second question is, who, if anybody, would you like to see on the show? And Lucretia, who also has dreads, says, yes, purple hair and pink curls.
Yeah.
She's here for it.
I think you would have really good energy with.
I like this conversation already. You would have really good energy.
Jonetta. She was one of the visible people in Black Lives Matter in Ferguson. She's from Ferguson.
Janetta Elsie.
Yeah.
She's one of the first people. It's so funny because y'all be like, oh, have this person on the show. And I literally reach out to all the regular people that I know. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I write to them. I'm like, please be on the show. And then they read the message because I have mail track and they never get back to me. And then like somebody that they like is on the show. And then they write to me and be like, bitch, I want to be on the show. And I already know how this goes. So that's why I've been doing shows every day, because when I had them spaced out for once a week, the people that I wrote to originally was like, oh, you got to open it for like this week, next week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's been a very interesting ride. But I would like to get Janetta on the show. I have met her a couple of times in person. She's come to Boston a lot, especially in 2016. So I would love to have her on the show. Absolutely.
Okay, also, well, let me put another person in.
She said,
that might not be on your radar. The founders of Slay TV.
Slate?
Slay, SLAY. Slay TV is like a Black queer streaming service.
Okay.
And Terrence and his husband, they are really interesting people and they're really cool. I think they would be really good guests on your podcast because, you know, they have a successful streaming platform. They've been like doing events, you know, pre-COVID and stuff like that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I think they would be really interesting.
I'm here for the shits. Okay. And is there, what about my first question? Don't be annoyed with my fucking question.
I don't really know. I think you covered everything.
I'm really proud to hear this. I feel like I'm doing my job. It's a learning curve. I was never a podcaster person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you have your own podcast.
Yeah, but I'm not really confident in my podcast like I want to be because I feel like it's still an area that I'm learning about. I'm a person that like I love doing things where I know the ins and out of it. Like I know the ins and out of my web magazine. You know,
right?
Like if shit comes down to it, and I have to like put a magazine out on my own, I can do it. Technically, I can do the layout. I can get it printed. Like I can do it on my own. But with podcasting, I rely heavily on others to fix it, edit it, produce it, and such and such.
So, you edit your podcast?
No, I don't.
Neither do I. So some like this one and one other one, there was like some space and like the sound or whatever. I do want to re-upload those and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just edit it to like remove certain sound clips that, you know, aren't really great or whatever. But other than that, I just upload them as they are, whatever. So I had never considered that. And like I said, this is a learning curve for me. I'm reading stuff. I'm in the Facebook groups or whatever. I would like, you have the Dainty Doug podcast and I'm just like trying to figure out what you're going to do.
I mean, now that I'm able to record interviews off of Skype, that makes the quality sound better. But
Okay.
I can't actually like piece it together and put it out. Like I'm part of a podcast network, so I just send it to them and they do it.
Okay. All right. I'm with the shits. Well, y'all, please look at the PayPal, the Cash App, and the Venmo links. Sorry, not
Yes,
Venmo.
because we are working on our summer issue, and I'm so excited because it's the first print issue where I'm going to have so many good Black actresses.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm ready
I'm
for it.
excited. This is going to be like my biggest issue to date. We still have the digital issue available on Amazon. It's
Okay.
still, after 2 years, it's still Amazon's best-selling 100 African American art books.
Oh,
So,
wow. Okay. Let me buy one for the collection. So, thank you so much for being a guest on my
thank you.
podcast, Erika. I really
Thank you,
appreciate you.
love. I appreciate you too. Sorry about all the technical difficulties.
You ain't got to apologize. It is what it is until it isn't. So, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you. I love you.
I love
And
you
I hope
too.
that y'all enjoyed this episode of The Full Set. Y'all have a good night now.
All right, bye.
All right, peace.